Hello guys and welcome to MRC Tier 1. We are here in the wonderful Sao Paulo for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's round 2 of Tier 1 and wow, was round 1 an absolute banger for this tier. Yeah, very exciting in the streets of Montreal. So let's see how these boys get on in Brazil. Tonight, though, I don't think we have a certain Italian 8-9-time champion, whatever he is now, because of internet difficulties. So that is a humongous shame. But nonetheless, we can still expect an absolute barnstormer. I've commentated on some absolutely world-class races around this wonderful track. And some of the races I've commentated on that are absolutely world-class is with a world-class commentator that I have as my co-commentator. That is Mr. Andrew Monster. How are you?
Oh, it's good to be back with you, Connor. How have you all been?
Yeah, I'm alive.
But yeah, it's good to be back, as I say, commentating with you. It's been a little bit, hasn't it? So with a little bit of a weirder setup tonight for us, but we've got it working. And we're all good. Yeah,
you're not in the lobby, so if what Andrew's saying is a few seconds behind what I'm saying, it's because he's watching off the stream, because crossplay isn't on in the lobby and Andrew is on PC, so he is going to be commentating on what he sees, but it just might be a bit after it's happened, if that makes sense. But we will get by either way. Jamie Bistel said if Calvin gets pole, he will buy Calvin paddock pass tickets to the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Hotel and spending money too.
I'm presuming that means everything. God, I hope Calvin gets pole.
Yeah, and then we could just hear a load of crying that comes out of Jamie's bank account.
And as I'm saying this, I'm going to go on board with Calvin in the Williams as we speak. Let's see what he can do in the first. Well, he's done the first sector. Let's see what he can do in the middle sector. Middle sector, very tricky because it's so many corners, so many low to high speed sections, and you've got to get every apex absolutely spot on because the traction zones are very. My bank account with £10.50 in. He's going to buy him tickets like this with £10.50. I think you'll need about 10,500, not £10.50.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see what Calvin can do as a first lapper. 108 dead, incredible. I think Jamie's now he's probably got a bit of brown stuff dripping down his leg as we speak. But, you know, so much generosity every week. I'd call it bravery, not generosity, because I am intrigued.
It didn't say what year Jamie's just come up with on the chat.
No. I am enforcing, if you put it in my YouTube chat, that means you do it the year of which you say it. So it will be this year, Calvin. I think everyone should go in the pits, not set a lap and let Calvin get pole as it stands. Anybody to set a lap and beat Calvin from now gets 25 conduct points.
In 2088.
He won't be alive then, and neither will... Well, you might be, I don't know how old you are. But I definitely won't be. Let's see. Kid Dynamite, it's great to see him back. He's in the Mercedes. He'll be delighted with that. He's done a 52.0 first sector. Bobo very close to Calvin, only 59 hundredths behind. Let's see what Kid can do. 8.2, good banker. Saviour, 25 conduct points goes to you. A 107.9.
He's not beating Calvin by much, though.
He's not. I believe he's just doing it. I believe he's generously doing it because of the fact that Jamie's now celebrating in the YouTube chat. He's happy Saviour just took pole. well,
There's
provisional
still 13
pole.
minutes of the session left, Jamie.
He's going to be absolutely sweating to see if Cal. Well, the thing is, without you, the only saving grace for Jamie is that Ben is here, because obviously you Jody isn't.
Ben in that beautiful Williams.
Yeah, actually, the best part about it is he's Calvin's teammate.
He drives that Williams better than me.
Well, he drives it probably better than Albon and Sainz as well, to be totally honest.
Ben's definitely better than me in that Williams than I am.
I mean, to be honest though, Andrew, I wouldn't take that as a bad thing, because Ben's better than probably everyone in the Williams.
It's thank goodness we don't have Ben and Ujoni as teammates, because that would just be pandemonium.
I think for the sake of fairness, we just couldn't have that as a pairing. Them two, they would break every record under the sun for constructors' points. But here comes Ben, he's purple in the first 2 sectors, and he obliterates everyone. What a lap that is, a 107.3.
I think I can just hear the very, very big sound of relief coming from Jamie's house.
Yeah, I think Jamie is now just like, well, feet up, that £10.50 is very safe.
Maybe Calvin might pull out a monster of a lap.
Should we change it to front row, Jamie? How about that? Let's up the stakes a little bit. If it's a Williams 1-2, that would make it a lot more.
I haven't seen that probably since the 90s.
He said no. What a party pooper.
Yeah.
Let's see what Nels can. Yeah, let's see what Nels can do. He is someone who's just raced in the Tier 2 race. He stepped up. He's in. He's got big shoes to fill because he is in Mr. Damiano Ujoni's seat.
Yeah, so no pressure.
Imagine he just goes and pulls a Ujoni time out the bag. I'd be like, well, that was interesting.
1-2 and I'll buy him a chippy.
All right, well, Calvin, at least you get a chippy out of it, right?
Speaking of, I think he's on a lap at the moment, isn't he?
I will cut to him in a minute because I am intrigued to see if he can put this on the front row. Let's see what C8 Lou can do. The man who should be in Tier 1, he's put it in P5. Good luck from him.
Lap me today in the Tier 2 race.
Yeah, he's definitely Tier 1 level. Let's see what Calvin can do. Middle sector. He's a tenth and a bit up as things stand. He's going to pop it into P2.
That'll put him on the... Yeah, that will put him P2 on that time. Saviour's out another lap at the moment. Try and get back close to Ben.
Will £10.50 cover Calvin's chippy order?
It depends on what he wants to order.
Yeah, if he says fish and chips, here, with the British economy how it is right now, it's probably going to be close. But it's he's into P2.
It, though, he's not far off pole. He's not miles away.
He's not, but that's a bad. Let's not forget that is Ben's banker lap.
Can he? There's no guarantee Ben can better it though. Not to demean Ben's ability. It's just that you just need to see if he can probably get another lap. If he gets another lap in or not.
Okay. I think he'll be fine. Unless he feels just absolutely comfortable with that, but... Let's see what Bailey's going to do. 7-9, he's into P3 for the Tifosi.
Oh, look who he's starting right alongside at the moment.
Yeah.
His bestest friend in the whole wide world.
His arch nemesis. The man who's denied him more times than any woman. It's Mr. Saviour. Was that harsh, Andrew? Sorry.
Yeah, leave the president of the Patrick Bradford fan club alone a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Oh, Kid Dynamite P3.
Yeah, he's the middle-aged firecracker is definitely cracking out in Brazil at the minute.
He is
He's
1:07.8. Great lap for him. Ben is coming out on an out lap now.
he's also just taken his idol Max Verstappen's line into turn 4 when he pushed Hamilton off track. So I wonder if Kid is
2021.
I wonder if Kid is trying to learn stuff from Max and incorporate that into his driving. Jamie just said the dog hacked his YouTube.
Come on, Jamie, get with the times. It's normally the dog ate my homework.
Yeah, he's trying to now get out of the fact that he's starting to sweat that he has to now buy Calvin a chippy. But Ant has just put it
to Brazil, yeah.
Well, no, that's unless Calvin pulls the worldiest lap he's ever pulled out in his life.
I'm G'ing Calvin up here. I'm thinking he could sneak it.
I'll tell you what, if Calvin does a 106, I'll buy him paddock pass tickets to Brazil.
There you go, Calvin. If you heard no, if you need more of an incentive, there you go.
Jamie just says pole and the win. No, you can't change it now.
You're backtracking now.
If Calvin hits a 106, I swear, if he hits a 106, you're just going to see Connor has left the session. Connor, YouTube has gone offline.
Mind blown.
I think I'll cry. Amar Red into P4. What a lap from him in his debut full-time season in Tier 1.
He's been deserving of the Tier 1 seat for a while. Fantastic driver, quick, consistent.
Yeah, definitely. Ben, a 107.0. It's going to have to be a 106 from Calvin if he wants pole.
Bobo into P2 on the 107.7 as well.
Yeah, he's just destroyed the front row, so I think Jamie's going to be the biggest fan ever of Bobo right now.
Yeah, I think he's probably whipped out the Alpine merchandise.
But we do have Mr. German sat in P7 still to set a lap as well, so let's see where he can put it, because it is very close between second all the way down to about 13th right now. Only 6/10 separate. Huh?
Because of the short lap, it's such a tight. You get such a tight spread across drivers.
Yeah, Jamie Biffle said I do support Alpine because of Gasly. I mean, I like Gasly. I like Gasly, I will be honest. But let's see what Saviour can do. I missed his first sector side, so that's just brilliant, isn't it?
Well, to be fair, Jamie, I can one up you a little bit. I've been to the factory.
This way, yeah, but you're an encyclopedia. You've been just about you've probably been to Bernie Eccleston's house. No.
That's one place I will never tread.
I was going to say that's it. I probably shouldn't have said that on stream. But let's see. Saviour's on an absolute banger of a lap. If he can gain a bit in this final sector, he could definitely be taking the fight for pole.
Yeah, he definitely could. This is looking quite as a very solid lap from...
No, not quite, but he is on the front row.
Multi-time champion himself.
Yeah. If anyone could whack a lap out, it is definitely Saviour at any given moment.
Oh, agreed.
But that will, unless he can get in and out again though. So there is a actually it might be tight. But I think there is a chance he could probably do one more lap here.
I think he could, because as you said, it's a 106, 107 lap. It's one of the shortest laps we have in the calendar here. So he has...
He's going to have to...
He's got time to get there.
He's going to have to be super quick in and out the pits though.
Yeah, he is.
Let's see what Anthony can do. He's about to start his last lap. He's currently in position. Oh no, he's currently in the pits. So that rules any Aston Martin excitement coming today. But
real life fans should be used to it by now.
Yeah, for sure. But interesting times ahead, I think, for this. It does sting a little bit. It is a little bit sad that Joni isn't here, though.
It is, but as we said as well, he's been having some tech issues unfortunately tonight, but hopefully he can remedy everything and he should be back with us for the next Grand Prix.
Because I would love to see what he could do in terms of pace to Ben.
I think it would have been another three-way fight again like we had last season with all three of them. I don't. Oh, Chris is at the spin.
Yeah, Chris has ruined his last lap.
He was on for around P2, P3, I think.
Actually, Chris will be able to go again. He will cross the line. He will use the next lap to recharge his battery, you would think. And then...
He's just going to watch with the grass on the tyres.
And then he will get round for one more lap.
Yeah, he's dropped it straight into none. So I think he's going to recharge from there as the big guns are rolling.
Yeah, Ben, Calvin, Kid. Yeah, all out on their out lap. Let's have a look at Rassam. See what he can do.
It's a very nice Mercedes. It's a nice livery this year from Mercedes. I do like it.
It looks better when it's in a barrier.
Wow.
No, nothing against the drivers in MRC. But it just...
Is it Russell or Antonelli?
I mean, I have nothing against either. Well, I'm not the biggest fan of Russell, it has to be said. But, yeah, it's nothing personal. I'm just not a fan of Mercedes, let's say. But
no, I get that. Ben
Rassam is marginally up in the first sector.
100 top.
Yeah. Let's see what he can do. Then we're going to cut to Calvin after.
Saviour than Ben.
Yeah. A lot of drivers also starting their laps now. Mark Hodgson is also on one. Jay Sarge, who's about a place down in P17. He's on a lap as well. But let's see, can Rassam threaten the top 10 with this lap?
500 down, I don't think he's going to...
No, he's bailed. He goes into the pit. Let's go and have a look at Calvin. End of the first sector, a tenth and a half up.
Could be a threat to the front row.
Yeah. Get that bank account ready, Jamie, because Calvin is on one.
Yeah,
If he does a 106, I will leave the session.
The Visa Cash App RB gets out of the way for him.
It's called the V Conarb now, Andrew, because I drive it.
I just keep adding names to it every week.
Calvin is
Visa Cash App Spotify.
3400ths up at the end of the middle sector.
Not going to be enough for the front row, I don't think.
Not unless he has a
Mark comes up
crazy...
with another lap again, P4.
Yeah, so... Yeah, and Calvin is P5, and popped it into P6. Bailey, P10. That's it. Everyone's done their laps.
Saviour's still... Yeah, no, Saviour's finished as well.
Kid Dynamite
What a qualifying.
has popped it into P3 late on. Armor Red into P4 late on. This quali session has got spicy.
This is throwing the cat amongst the pigeons for the race now, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's one thing that Tier 1 Brazil is never shy of, and that's a bit of rain.
Yeah, a lot of the races here have been affected by rain. Who can forget the infamous 2008 is that clock?
Well, who can forget last year when we had quali in the race on the same day?
We did, yes, after I think Williams mechanics probably worked through the night.
Yeah, But the grid for Tier 1, Ben is on pole, Saviour second, Kid Dynamite is in third, Armar Red fourth, Calvin is in fifth, Anthony sixth, Bobo seventh, Jules in P8, C8 Lou P9, Chris Bailey is P10, Rassam P11, G Star P12, Nick in P13, Doris P14, Sarge P15, Sociopath P16, Kaiser Sozo 17th, Mark 18th, Nels 19th, and Lorpy in 20th. Jamie said, I win yet again. Right, if there's a week where Ben, Saviour, and you, Jody, don't race, I want you to do the same thing. Say, put a big prize on the line. See if you'll put the money. Raining?
Not too sure.
It's very overcast, let's say that much. You probably can't see it yet, sadly.
No, not yet. That's not looking too good.
Oh, I think it looks beautiful.
Oh,
but I do. Do you want to give us some of your expertise knowledge of Brazil?
I will do in 1 second, but I'm just going to say now, the 12 people watching, can you please hit the like button and subscribe, please?
Yes, and that.
We spoil you every week.
Yeah, 5 races a week. 5. 5.
2 today, 2 tomorrow, and 1 on the Thursday.
Well, 2 today, 2 Wednesday. Mark said, what's your best memory of this track? Actually, I've got a good one. Mine is when you and Martin came together in Turn 4.
Okay, Hodge, what do you mean IRL, or do you mean...
Yeah, I think he means IRL, but I'm just an idiot. He just said, I hate you.
Well, if we're going on about leagues, I think I've probably got 2. If league racing here, I think I've got here. And I'm sorry a little bit for this first one. When I roasted you in the chat a little bit the one time when you're doing the full commentary race, and I remember Simba and Hodgie laughing their heads off.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
In terms of actual proper racing, I think it was the one season where I got actually from the back of the grid because I mucked up my qualifying laps, but I got through to P3 from last.
Yeah, I have to say.
I'll take that.
I have to say, when I think about Brazil, there's so many iconic moments. You've got, what year was it? Ocon took Verstappen out of the lead as a lapped car. 2017?
2018, I believe.
Yeah, 2018.
We're talking about it in the first session.
Then you've got Lewis's iconic drive in 21. You've got Magnussen pole 22. You've got Hulkenberg pole 2010.
Yes, you do.
You know, you've got so many moments. George Russell's win in 22. No one saw that coming.
Yeah.
Ocon, Gasly on the podium last season, like Jamie just said. You know, there's so many. Even Max's drive last year.
I'll add my personal one because I was lucky enough. I went to I was at the Silverstone Museum over the weekend.
Yes, I am aware.
I managed to see the car. Jensen 09 taking the 5th place for the championship.
Yeah,
the overtakes he made through the field. Another
iconic moment, the Glock moment on the last lap of 08. You know, there's even 2012 when Alonso essentially the entire race had the title in his hands, and then Seb made the pass on Michael of all people to win the world championship.
Passing of the guard that was, but one of the ones I think.
Yeah.
Some of us old school fans remember it was Senna in '91 when he won. He won the race here, but I think he was stuck in 5th gear for the majority of the race.
Yeah.
He nurses McLaren through to take the win. He couldn't even get out the car at the end of the race. He was that exhausted.
Yeah. There's been
Another good
I
setup.
struggle actually now when I think about it to think of a bad Brazil race. I don't think there's been many.
No, it is a track that, as you said, it's brought a lot of good races here, because you can race here. It's got the characteristics. It's got the overtaking points here. You're never gonna be stuck behind in traffic for the majority of the race. I mean, even all the way up the hill, as I say, going from Yuncao all the way up to the top of the hill. I mean, that one time, I think it was a couple of years ago, 23, I think, with Perez and Alonso.
Yeah.
When I think it was Alonso beating the podium by a couple of hundreds.
Yeah. It's
tires everybody are on.
It's definitely a track that just, there's always some sort of drama here as well. Always.
Yeah.
You know.
Agreed.
It's caused by someone or another, usually Max Verstappen, but it's still there. But the tyres, the interesting part, most drivers are on mediums apart from Xavier, Ant, Jules, Rassam, G-Star and Nels. They're all on hards.
It's an understandable start to the place. I mean, I went with the two-stopper, as I say, in the Tier 2 race, going soft, medium to hard, and then back to the mediums again for the last stint. But I find with my setup, the rears were roasted by about 7, 8 laps.
Yeah. Yeah, I think on this game, generally, the tyres die a lot quicker than they ever have before. But
they have, I think they've gone it a little bit too far that way now, a little bit.
I'm just happy that today's update fixed the tyre smoke, because boy, it's horrible.
That's been like a smoke screen. I've had that in other races.
Oh, I raced Tier 4 and there was a reserve who was using no ABS, and my God, I could not drive. But let's see some lights, because the Brazilian Grand Prix for Tier 1 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are racing. It's a great getaway from Ben, but Xavier's also bogged down a little bit. And look at the Alpine of Armar Red. He's up the inside into 1. He's having a little look. Let's cut down, but no, Xavier manages to stick it around the outside and keep the advantage. Everyone seems to so far have made it through okay. Calvin up to P4. What a start from him.
Yeah, fantastic start from him as well. But Ben and Xavier managed to keep their noses clean. Armar up into a very good, as I say, front three, as I say, third position. I'm going to go out on a whim and call this now. Keep an eye on Armar Red for this race. He's going to be a dark horse in this one, I think.
So what I learned about Armar Red from practice is he doesn't have the most straight line speed, but he is the fastest in Tier 1 through the middle sector.
Yeah, it's all about compromise, this track, though, isn't it? Because you've got the long straight up the hill towards the cow all the way to Centre S. You've got all the way down to turn 4, but that middle sector, you can win or lose so much time there.
What's crazy is, though, look at Ben.
Already.
Yeah, already pulled the DRS, and now Xavier's going to be in trouble from the man from Northern Ireland. Is he going to be able to make a move into turn 1? Not this time around. He's just got enough speed. A bit of a lock-up into turn 1 for Xavier, though. This could unlock an opportunity for Armor Red down to turn 4.
Yeah, the DRS should be online here.
He's getting closer. He's not quite close enough, but I think Armor Red might be playing the long game here a little bit.
Yeah, he's patient enough. He knows don't do a bad idea on the first couple of laps. Keep the cars healthy, keep it safe. He should be okay. I think he's keeping Xavier very honest at the moment.
Well, let's not forget, though, the one thing. Xavier is on the hard tyre, so actually it probably is a good idea that Armar can escape him quick sooner rather than later. There's a yellow flag at the back. I think that could be for Nels or G-Star. I think it was G-Star because he's dropped off the pack a little bit. But
don't know what he's got damage on that front wing.
I didn't quite see, but it's going to get interesting. Armar this time, though, he's really, really close. He has a look up the inside into turn one. And he's got the move done. What a move that is from the Alpine driver.
Sorry about that.
All good. But
it kicks me out on occasion in the remote play, but yeah, Armar's looking punchy tonight. Not intimidated by Saviour.
he definitely is. It'll be interesting to see if he can make any sort of leeway up on Ben, because it's not that big of a gap.
1.4, 1.5 isn't alright, but I wonder now, with Saviour and Calvin being such close proximity to Armar, are they going to try and have a fight with him, or are they just going to go, okay, let's not fight, let's use each other, catch back up to Ben, and let's have this race? Because Saviour's in probably the box seat at the moment, I think. He's keeping with his medium runners pretty well.
He is in the box seat as long as there's no Bernd Mylander on the track.
Oh, Kurt Trylander, his twin brother, yeah.
Because if he enters the track, then that will ruin Saviour's strategy.
Yeah, G-Star's in the pits at the moment. I think he may have sustained a little bit of damage from the Red Bull.
Yep, definitely more than possible. But,
yeah, fair spread at the moment.
Ben is corner cutting penalty for Mark, 10 seconds. But Ben is starting to build that gap now out front.
I wonder if Hodgie's done the same thing I did. And you know the top of the hill, turn 5?
Yeah.
I wonder if he spun across the grass there and did that, because that's what got me in the Tier 2 race.
Saviour has taken P2 back. I wonder if those hards just took a little while to heat up, and now they finally started to, and he's got some grip.
Bit of what for Soze for me, 17?
Yeah, so they're currently in 18th, but if he just keeps it consistent, but then side by side, Omar Red and Calvin through turn 4. And Calvin gets himself through. That was very on the limit, but fair.
Yeah, but is Armar going to leave himself susceptible to the Mercedes and Kid Dynamite behind him now?
Yeah, these guys, the thing is, it's a very, very long DRS trade at the minute, all the way down from Saviour to J Sarge.
Yeah, that's quite a big spread there, so going to be quite a few battles going on these next few laps of these cars.
Yeah, but that was ultimate opportunist there from Calvin. But I have just realised that Armar wouldn't have got DRS on the run down to turn 4, would he? Because is it a double detection?
I don't think it is. I think it is actually.
Yeah, which means, yeah, that's why he was left vulnerable to Calvin. Oh, there's a Bobo's in the wall.
Oh, just saw the Alpine just go off behind there.
Yeah, he did hit the wall very hard. I'll be very surprised if he hasn't. Yeah, he's got no front wing.
Yeah, he's got a lot of grass on his tyres as well, which is not going to be ideal for the Alpine man.
Yeah, so while one Alpine is currently sat right up there in P4, the other one is going to be making a visit to the pit. Oh, Calvin?
Calvin had a bit of a half spin. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. I was like, wow, Calvin had a spin. He's still in P3. He's doing well. But that probably explains why he's 1.4 seconds back now.
Yeah, he had a half spin up the top of the hill back to turn 5, turn 6. So he caught the slide, but I think he's left himself susceptible to Armar Red now. I wonder if Calvin's tyres are starting to feel it a bit.
Yeah, very possibly.
He's
It's
under threat. He's under threat from both sides.
yeah, Armar's just got past, and so has Kid Dynamite. But Armar now, he's going to be under a bit of pressure. It's not a double DRS zone, I can confirm, because Armar does not have DRS. Down to
No,
turn
he doesn't
4.
have the wing, and he's going to be susceptible down to turn 4 from the Merc. But I think Kid's just going to go, okay, I'll wait to the hill.
I have to say, as much as I would love to see Armar Red or Calvin or whoever on the podium, it would be great to see Kid Dynamite again on the podium, back on the podium.
Oh, it's fantastic. Kid's a fantastic driver, very quick, very, again, consistent. He's one of them good combinations of consistency and pace as well. He's, on his day, he is always going to be a threat to the leaders.
Yeah.
Jody, a Ben, the Saviour, and everything like that.
I'd do anything, and I do mean anything, to see Kid Dynamite back at his absolute best.
That would be a scary. That would be a very tasty championship fight. A prime Kid Dynamite, a prime Ben, a prime Saviour, and a prime Ujoni.
Can you imagine if you had a prime Ben, prime Saviour, prime Ujoni, prime J Sarge? You know, like, oh my god.
The battles, I think we'll all be salivating at the mouth.
that would be like, it would be a title race. I don't think I'd be able to choose between like 5 drivers.
It would be a repeat of 2012 with like the 5 champions on the grid.
Yeah, it certainly would. Sociopath has just got past Nels for P16. But this train is getting a bit smaller now. It only goes down to Rassam in P10.
Yeah, it's lost a few carriages, but still moving along.
Yeah. Kid Dynamite is really close to Armar Red. He's past Armar Red. He's into the podium positions. Can he get a chase on for Saviour in P2 and maybe Ben in P1? Because look at that gap between Saviour and Ben. It's down to 1.8 seconds.
I wonder if this is a crossover now. The hard tyres are bedding in a lot better than the mediums.
I wonder if Saviour knows that this is the time. He knows that Ben's going to have the undercut. But
as we say that, Nick and Keys Associates, they're swapping tyres.
Yeah, they're onto the hard. So I wonder if this is the point where they're saying, right, it's time to pit. But is it possible to do 26 laps on hard tyres?
No, it's a 2-stop race, this one, I think.
Well, so was Canada, apparently.
You go mediums, yeah, you go mediums, hard, medium, or as I say, you can go another set medium for one of the hard straight at the end. Low P3 seconds.
Yep, he certainly has just got a 3-second penalty. I have to say, though, I'm watching all these medium tyre runners. Kid just had a big moment out of turn 8. So
yeah, it's starting to twitch now, I think they're getting a little bit squirrely on the power.
Bailey has just pitted. I think he's tried to undercut this entire group, which, by the way, is possible with the position he was in. So Bailey pitting is surely going to force... There's a big battle between Ants and Calvin. Ants is past him. But Bailey... These guys are now going to have to react to Bailey.
Possibility, but I think looking where Chris is at the moment, he may come out behind. If he gets out ahead of the McLaren, he should be fine.
He did.
Yeah, he's out in front of the McLaren. I've just seen on the track map now.
Yeah. This is going to be very, very close. Has
Chris
Bailey... Let's see. Let's go to the leaders and see who's going to react. Saviour doesn't really need to. Saviour and Ben had enough of a gap to him to not really panic. Ben stays out. Obviously, Saviour does. He's on the hards. What is Kid going to do? Pit. Armar pits. Ant carries on. Calvin also carries on. This is it now. Where is Chris Bailey on the track? Is he going to be able to form an undercut here? He's coming round the final corner now. This is going to be
Just a
close.
young cow. It's quite a long pit lane as well here on the exit.
He's wait. Yeah.
Chris may have done a blinder.
Actually, no, I don't think he is. It's going to be super close. They're all in the exit. They're going to be side by side coming out the pits. He's past Armour. He's going to be level with Kid Dynamite down the run down to turn 4. No, Kid's just ahead, but he has jumped Armour.
Yeah, that's a big jump. That's...
Wait. Kid's... okay, so Kid's gone medium, so's Armour.
Although looking at it at the moment, someone could play the team game a little bit for his teammate here in a few laps.
Yeah, Mr. L. Hodge.
Yeah, because if the Hodgemeister, he makes his Ferrari just that little bit wide enough just to annoy the Mercedes.
Oh, Ben is just pitting, so is Saviour. I wonder if they were starting to get in range of a certain Bailey in that on the undercut.
Saviour dropping off the hard tyres early. That's a concern.
Yeah, medium now to the end though, so he is going to be on the fastest tyre. That's absolutely guaranteed. I tell you what though, look at how much Kid has caught up to these two. It's super close now between these guys.
Yeah, Chris is not out of this yet.
No one's out of this after this strategy. This is
really put the cat amongst the pigeons here.
Yeah, this is that Chris Bailey early pit stop very much forced the leaders probably to pit earlier than they definitely intended to.
Yeah, Chris opened Pandora's box a little bit here with this tyre strat.
Calvin has now decided to pit, but I fear that he's going to lose out drastically to these guys.
Yeah, especially with what at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, he's
flying on the way up now.
Here comes Armar though. He's going to make the move on Chris for what is a net P4. So those mediums, obviously, they're going to be the tyre to be on for now. But Chris is under a bit of pressure here from C8 Lou, who's also pitted.
Yeah, and he's one of these guys you don't want to take your eye off.
I mean, he's very much proving that he should be tier 1 tonight, though. That is for sure.
No, he was that far ahead of most of us, and he lapped me, so...
No ifs, buts, or maybes. He's definitely tier 1. This is just proving it. So...
Yeah, it's putting it signed, sealed, delivered, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Let's have a little look. Saviour, though, look at how close he is to Ben right now.
He is. He's not dropped away, and I'm wondering if Ben's going through that heat cycle on those hard tyres.
Yeah, quite possibly, but as we say that, Ben posts the fastest lap of the race.
10-2, that's a stomper of a lap to show race fuel.
That was a shut up, Connor. I know what I'm doing from Ben there.
Yes. Just you leave him alone. He knows what he's doing. You don't have to remind him every 2 seconds.
Talking about Calvin, though, that staying out those extra 2 laps has made him lose out big time.
Yeah, he's dropped off a lot.
Yeah.
People from, as I say, from Chris Bailey and C-Lou, Dave, CB Lou as well. They've the ones that capitalised so much on this first stint.
Yeah, definitely. But we are not yet at the halfway point of this race.
No, we're not. There's another pit stop cycle to come.
Yeah, there certainly is. And it's tier 1, it will always get juicy.
Oh, these guys are very ever rarely boring.
Yeah. They this has been the calmest race I've seen in a while. There's been a few big moments, but generally it's been a pretty calm race. But saying that, here comes C8 Louis right up the chuff of Chris Bailey. Not quite close enough because obviously Chris Bailey still has that DRS from Armour Red.
Pass on Ferrari.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Trying to hassle the factory team.
Yeah, Bobo, 10 seconds, a bad race for Bobo gets even worse at this stage.
Doesn't rain, but it pours.
Yeah, it's not been the best of races for him, but I'm sure he will bounce back.
Yep, he should bounce back, as I say, for the next Grand Prix, which I'll have on the calendar where it will be.
Yeah, I'm glad George, because I'd have a clue.
Ooh, we have a good one, very good one next week.
Austria?
We're in the hills of Styria.
Oh, I love that track.
And finally coming to the pits.
Yeah, the tyre whisperer is tyre whispering no more.
I wonder if he's going to try and do hards till the end.
Yeah. Possibly. Mediums, though, that means 20 laps on a set of mediums.
Yeah, I think he still has to run the hards again.
No, he ran the hard on his first
did he
stint.
start him? Okay, yeah, okay, he won't make the mediums 20 laps.
Yeah.
You're good at taking care of your tyres, and don't get me wrong, but I think even 20 laps in the mediums is even above you.
I don't know, you know. It's Ant. That's the thing. It is Ant.
Although, to be fair, this is the guy that puts intermediates on the wet.
At the end of the day, he has made this decision to stay out so long for a reason. Maybe he was waiting for a safety car, possibly. But who knows?
Maybe.
Who on earth knows? But that battle for P4 is starting to really get juicy between Chris C8 Lou and Armour Red at the minute.
Yeah, there's going to be Armour's going to have some very, very big company behind him in a minute.
Yeah, that gap between Saviour and Ben has now stagnated at about 1.8 seconds.
I wonder if this is the same problem we had in the first stint, where the mediums are going off a little bit, the hards are coming into their own, but the roles reversed this time.
Well, the interesting part is, for the first time in this race, Saviour and Ben will be on the same tyre on the final stint.
That is true.
So that's where we will ultimately see the ultimate pace in comparison of these two.
Who's going to blink first?
If you're Saviour, you've got to be thinking, right, I need to put Ben in a place he doesn't want to go here. And maybe pit as early as possible to catch Ben off guard.
They need to. It's 4D chess at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, let's not beat around the bush. Ben is definitely the quickest driver on this track. So, already, if I was Saviour, if you want any way of beating him, you've got to be looking at alternative options.
Yeah, you do. But again, they're all running in clear air, but I think possibly coming up in a few laps, they may start hitting the traffic. With this being a shorter circuit, though, the traffic's going to start getting into more of a problem again as well. There's laps of cars coming in Sector 3, so they might catch them before the next pit stop.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. It's going to be interesting to see how this works out, for sure. But
oh, definitely, it's going to be an interesting one coming up towards the end now.
But I'm going to cut to the battle because look how close C8 Lewis to Chris. He might even have a look at a lunge. It's at the back of him. He's got wing damage.
I saw a piece of carbon fibre go off. Yep, he's missing an end fence. The left side.
Oh, that was big contact between the two. I hope Chris is not suffering with any sort of rear wing damage after that, because it is very easy to get it.
Yeah, diffuser damage as well on the Ferrari.
Oh, that was big, but that's definitely now ruined C8 lose race. That will be losing him a lot of time in the middle sector.
It's unfortunate.
But Calvin will be licking his lips now.
Oh, definitely. He's got a chance now, and so is Ant, to be fair.
Yeah, there's going to be a little battle between these two, but they need to work together here now because they don't want to start holding each other up.
No, and I wonder if it's going to be a two-stop. I wonder if Ant might try and sneak on a set of softs at the end. He's got 3-lap fresher tyres over everyone else.
I've got a feeling Ant is going to try and go to the end.
He'd be crazy enough to do it.
But look, let's look at it like this, okay? Ant has now passed Calvin for P7, but let's look at it like this, okay? He was still in the lead when he came in the pits.
That is true.
And they had, what, 8-9 laps to try and catch him? And they didn't even get in the DRS. I know this is a set of mediums, but let's not forget, they're going to come in, I would say, 5 laps, at a guess, for a new set of mediums. That to me means...
Yeah, 25, 26.
By the time they get to the end, their tyres are going to be feeling it as well. Could he win this?
Not out the realms of possibility, but I think he's going to need a bit of luck.
Oh, and I tell you what, look who's blinked first. It's Kid Dynamite. He's the one triggering the undercuts this time. So, interesting.
Yeah, he's going to be he's gone to the hard tyres.
I wonder if he's going to try and shake Xavier up a little bit with that one. But that gap between Xavier and Ben now is up to 5 seconds.
He's looking at the track map. I think Kid's going to be out. He's just out behind Nick and Doris, but he's not got that much of a clear track. If he can clear those two quite fast, he should be able to start pumping in some good laps on a clear track.
The issue for Kid is that Nick has DRS from Doris, so that's going to make it a little bit harder.
That is true.
So actually, this may have negatively impacted him. But it all goes by the exit Beazle. Oh no, Nick's let him go.
I wonder if Nick's just thinking, this isn't my race.
He literally just dived out the way.
Yeah, I think Nick's...
Oh, they've all reacted. Xavier, Armour, Bailey, Calvin, all in.
Yep, I think that's what the cat was.
Yeah, Ben, Kid is now past Doris, so Kid is now in clean air. He didn't lose any time at all, really, on that lap. So...
No, he's in that spot now. He's in that zone, and I think he's going to get out ahead. He's going to be close to one of the cars. I think it's Xavier.
Xavier went for hards, so he's gone hard, medium, hard.
I wonder if he's changed. I wonder if he changed the allocation.
Possibly, but
harder allocation of tires. Yeah.
That's a strange choice. I have to say, I thought he'd go dead set for mediums, but let's have a look. Is Ben now going to react? No. I wonder if Ben's worried here a little bit about Ant.
Possibility, but Ant's right on the back of Silu at the minute.
Well, Silu's just pit. So Ant is 13 seconds behind. How long's a pit stop here?
I'd say probably about 19, 20 seconds maybe.
So Ant will have a 7-second advantage. Don't get me wrong, Ben will have a fresh set of mediums, but let's say he pitted now, that's 13 laps on a set of mediums. his tyres will be feeling dead just as well as Ant's 20 lap old. So,
Yeah, but who's done what Saviour did and picked the harder allocation? That could be a possibility still.
yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Saviour, obviously, Jules is a bit of a, Jules has just got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting.
That's probably what happened with me. It was the
We do know Jules and Saviour are friends, so I think Jules will not hold Saviour up. But
no, he shouldn't.
and is Ben now? I'm wondering if Ben's just going to try and go to the end from here.
He'd be very brave to do it.
It'll be 24 laps on a set of hards.
They won't feel fantastic at the end.
To me, that sounds more possible than 20 laps on a set of mediums, though.
Kid's setting too fast. I think he's had 2 fastest laps in a row now. So
Yeah, kids now within the DRS of Saviour as well. So, Kid wants that podium.
he's left in the session, unfortunately.
Yeah, he certainly has. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. There's a McLaren in the wall. Is that a safety car? It's a virtual safety car. And that has just worked beautifully into the hands of Ben. And do you know who else has helped?
To say, where is he on track?
Do you know who else has helped? Yes. He's now probably going to come out ahead of Saviour.
But how long is the VSC going to last?
This is a game. Oh no, it's already green. But Ant's gone hard.
Oh. Yeah, I think Ant's done what Saviour did. He's gone on the harder allocation.
He has still gained places from it a little bit though.
He has.
He's jumped Bailey. Actually, no, they're going to be very, very close. Yeah, he has jumped Bailey, so he has still gained a little bit out of it.
Yeah, but he's going to have to get those hards up to temperature fast. Otherwise, he's going to get swamped by the little pack behind him.
Yeah, Mark Hodgson also got a drive-through for speeding up the virtual safety car, so he's serving that now. I hope you've got a driver of the day in mind at the minute, or at least thinking of one.
It's been a fair few tonight, I won't lie.
Yeah, there's a lot of contenders.
There is. Ben for one, Saviour, Kid Dynamite.
Armor Red.
And Saviour. Yeah, definitely Armor
Bailey
Red.
as well. Don't forget, Bailey started 10th. He's now up to P5. So.
Yeah, Kid and Chris have played the strategy game perfectly.
Yeah. Ben was probably going to win anyway, but he did secure it by that fairly lucky VSC. But he was probably going to win anyway.
Has he gone medium hard on his?
He's gone... Yes? No, medium hard.
Yeah, everyone's been switching the allocation over tonight then.
I wonder if they were thinking, if I go for the harder allocation, I wonder if they were going to try and push a one stop.
That's a possibility.
And then realise it's just not possible. So, Ben at 1:10.1 fastest lap, he is flying. There is no fastest lap point anymore though.
No, there isn't, which is a relief a little bit, I think.
I mean, it's not like I was ever getting a fastest lap anyway, so it makes no difference to me.
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, but that's probably what it stems down to, yeah. But, hey, it is what it is. Maybe they should do the point for pole position now.
I would say point who led most laps. That would be probably pretty much every year anyway.
Yeah, maybe a point for pole, because at least pole's competitive. So, yeah. But let's see, what can Kid do? Can he get Savior? They just seem to be stagnated at the minute with each other. But I think Kid is trying not to get him in turn 1 so that he gets that DRS down to turn 4. But Sadie gets such a good exit out of turn 2 that the Kid just doesn't seem to have the grip to be able to keep with him. But this is definitely a battle for P2 now.
Oh, agreed.
C8 lose past Chris. Has he still? Did he get his wing changed? No, he's still got the damage, so he's taking this fight to Chris with wing damage.
That's impressive, especially around this part of the track with a lot of the turns.
That's absolutely wild. I think Chris is struggling a lot on the hard tyre in comparison to other drivers.
I wonder if, as I say, it's a setup
Possibly, but I think C8 Lou's about to get Chris. You definitely would think so. Round the outside. Move done before they get to the braking zone. Is Armar going to have a little look into turn 1? No, but he may be trying to line Chris up for a run down to turn 4. Chris isn't getting the best exit out of turn 2, and this could open the opportunity for Armar Red, but not quite. He backs out a bit. Calvin there also now ready to try and get involved with this battle. I've also missed, and I'm very sorry for it, that Kid Dynamite's taken P2. So he did. I wonder if he went for it into Junkao and then out of Junkao and held it. But let's see, can Saviour get him back? But I tell you what, Kid's in territory here where he might get DRS from the back markers.
That could help him, yeah. DRS
He didn't into turn 1. I wonder if he will into turn 2. No, the rear wing doesn't open. But this little battle is starting to heat up. Let's go and have a look back at the battle for P5 between Chris, Armar, Calvin, and C8 Lou.
Yeah, it's a nice little battle between these guys.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's been going on for, well over half the race.
Well, see, Lou's a fellow tier 2 boy as well, so he's representing the tier really well tonight.
Oh, 3 seconds for Calvin.
No.
That's him out of the battle, I think, really, unless something drastic happens.
He get that chippy.
But let's go on board with the German in the battle for P2. He's closing, not quite enough, but he may try and look for that exit out of turn 2 where he's been so strong all race long. He's a lot closer this lap than he was on the last lap. Is he going to be able to make the move? I think he is. Let's cut to it. He goes round the outside into turn 4. They're side by side. Kid tries to hold it on the inside, but Saviour's got too much grip and gets the move done.
And he's off and away.
I don't think that battle's over just yet.
No, I can, if it keeps going, I would not be surprised.
I have to say, I think C8 Lou's the driver of the day today. He's got front wing damage. And
A reserve in tier 2.
yeah, I do actually wonder if that contact he had with Bailey that broke his wing damage, that gave his wing damage, I do wonder if it gave Bailey rear wing damage and that's his fall off in pace.
That's a possibility. It didn't look that hard.
And if so, we could well see that in the stewards.
Yeah, we could.
So, it's not over yet, that's for sure. But
Oh,
let's have a look. We've got 4 laps to go. This battle for second is definitely a good little battle. This battle for P5 as well is also an interesting little battle. So,
yes. Get your popcorn ready, folks. This is going to be a good one towards the end.
yeah, Chris is actually under more pressure from Armar than he is really pressuring C8 Lou.
Yeah, so I think C8 Lee might try and use the opportunity to try and break free a bit.
Yeah, he's probably hoping that Armar launches an attack on Mr. Bailey.
Yeah, so I think Louis might get away and, as I say, get P5. But this Chris is not out of the woods of armour.
No, he's definitely not. But I tell you what, I think Kid is the closest he's been in the battle for P2. But again, Saviour gets that rocket-like exit out of turn 2.
Kid doesn't really want to try and make the move to turn 1 because he'll leave himself susceptible.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Saviour on the way back to turn 4. So I think what he's trying to do, if I was Kid in this situation, I want to stay behind Saviour as much as I can, save him from the back and try and get him on the last lap of the hill.
Yeah, but the thing is, Saviour's exits are so strong that it's not as easy as that. But Chris has gone deep into turn 6. He's really struggling on those hard tyres.
Yeah, same difference. Armor and Chris have got the same tyre life as well.
That Ferrari is all over the place. I'm watching it like a hawk. I think he's got rear wing damage.
If he has, he's kept it going nicely because it gets progressively worse.
There's something different about how he's driving. He had a lot of pace in the last... Up until that point, he had a lot of pace. And the fact that C8 Lou managed to pass him with front wing damage says to me that car is not fully intact somehow. But C8 Lou's gone deep into one. He's locked up. And now Chris is side by side. And Chris is through.
Armar's going to be looking at picking up the pieces.
Armar now has a look up the inside of C8 Lou. And he's got it done. Armar could still be sniffing P5 here.
He can. This will be very good points for him.
I think Chris could well be a sitting duck now, especially without the DRS. But interestingly,
Yeah.
Kid's dropped out of the DRS of P2.
Yeah, so that means the strategy is just wait for the last lap.
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's go on board with Armar Red. A big moment for Chris out of Juncal. Let's see if Armar Red can get close enough. He may wait for turn 3, you know. But no, he doesn't. He goes up the inside in turn 1. And there's contact between the two. And LCA Lou's hit Chris again.
That looked a harder hit this time.
Yeah, but I think it was as a result originally of Chris hitting Armar. Chris has a look up into turn 4, but Armar just about holds on.
Yeah, he kept it nicely around the outside there. Well done there, Armar.
Yeah, I think Chris hitting Armar and then Armar hitting C8 and then C8 hitting Chris was all a result of one by one. But yeah. But Cielu's done very well with that front wing damage.
Yes, he can hold his head up high.
I've just realised
Well,
Ben has entered the final lap of this race.
He's been in no man's land since the first stint. He's
I'm
done all
sorry,
by himself.
a 16.8 second gap is absolutely wild. Chris has passed Armar for P5, but Armar will have the DRS. He's going to have one final chance to take this position away.
I think he should wait to the top of the hill.
But I think Chris has taken the... Chris got a very good exit out of turn 2. But we've seen before, and Chris knows this nightmare before, where you can get a good exit out of Juncal and it can be a drag race to the line.
I think that's what it's going to end up being.
Talking about another memorable moment was Gasly getting his first podium in F1 alongside Lewis Hamilton due to a drag race to the line.
2019, I believe.
Yeah, and then we also had Chris Bailey and Xavier Season 10 MRCX final, the championship decided by 0.012 seconds.
Gosh, then has crossed the line for the win.
But is Armar Red going to be able to get the... Ben, I'm so sorry I did not catch your win. You have won the Brazilian Grand Prix. Xavier is second, Kid is third, and is fourth. Chris Bailey will come home in P5, P6 for Armar Red, P7 for Cielo, P8 for Calvin. Doris is a long, long way back, but on his return race to MRC, he will be in P9.
Yeah, he's done amazingly as well, and good points for Nick BT as well in P10.
Yeah, and then P10 for Nick BT, P11, and a great recovery drive actually for Bobo.
Definitely, he's had a rough one.
Oh, he's lost it on the line to the house.
Oh, so you got done by Sociopath on the line.
Yeah, the Sociopath got him on the line, but he did have a penalty anyway, so he would have lost the position. But wow, what a race that was. Ben wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Xavier takes second. Kid Dynamite is third. Ant, with a great strategy call, gets himself in P4. Bailey, P5. Armor Red is P6. C8 Lou, P7. Calvin in P8. Doris, P9. Nick, P10. Sociopath, P11. Bobo is P12. Rassam, 13th. Sarge in 14th. G-Star rounds out the points in 15th. So you got Mark Hodgson, Keza Soze, Jules, Nels, and Lorpy. Andrew, who's your driver of the day?
I'm sorry, it's cliche, but I can't put one past Ben at the moment. Imperious all day, soaked up the pressure, played the strategy to perfection, and won the race. Really, I know it's the boring pick, but I can't not pick Ben.
Yeah, fair play. But yeah, that is your driver of the day for Brazil. That is also your race winner for Brazil. He's also your championship leader. So we still have 3 more races to come this week in Brazil. We have Tier 3 at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, Tier 4 at 8:45 on Wednesday, and then Tier 0 at 7:30 on Thursday. So you don't want to miss any of it. Then we'll be back next Monday for Tier 2 and Tier 1 in Austria. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. And we will be bringing you weekly races for the next 10 weeks. But yeah, thank you all for watching and good night.
Good night, everybody.